Before LaunchCode, I had spent 14 years working at a utility company. My mom got sick, and after staying out with my mom for about 8 months, I could not find a job, and I had not looked for a job in about 16 years. The job market had changed. Every job that was comparable to what I was doing kept saying they needed me to know what I thought at the time was just SQL. I had never heard of SQL before. I was so desperate to find a job because my unemployment was getting ready to run out that I was prepared to bite the bullet and just take a 401k loan. There was 3 classes at $1,500 a class, and they were only 3 days. So a total of 9 classes for well over $3,000. I thought, what if I don't get a job, but I've spent all this money? So now I'm working 3 jobs. I'm working at the temp service, I'm doing part-time at DSW, and I'm driving Uber. And I am exhausted. I was cleaning my house, and I went downstairs and I got a newspaper, and something like, just turn it over. And as I turned it over, it was like, LaunchCode, class starting soon. And I was like, it's free. I have to get in this. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Every day, the first thing I would do would go into my job and hit LaunchCode, Coder Girl. Is it starting today? Is it starting today? One day it said open. I think I was like one of the first people that applied. Day 1, it was starting, and I remember having a panic overtake me, but the women came together. We met outside of class. It was something that I poured hours and hours into, literally, not blood, but plenty of sweat and tears. I've been worried about a job for about 2 years. This is the first time I'm not worried about a job. The apprentice process has been great. It's just so different than my other work experience.
I ended up at a local nonprofit here that works in college access. And in that time, one of the things I started to realize was how much I loved working with people and having meaning in my work. But I also found that I really loved this technical side. I remember the exact day, it was a Sunday, and I was on LaunchCode's website. It was 3 days before the deadline for LC 101. First thing that hits me is, I don't know how to code. This is probably too much. Like, okay, well, what do I have to lose? Let me just try. I came in and there's 150 other people in the room, which in a way feels a little overwhelming, but at the same time, you start to look around and you see so many different faces coming from so many different backgrounds. I got a call from one of the company relations managers at LaunchCode, and he said, hey, listen, there's an opening with one of the companies that we work with. I accepted. And that was the start of finding a chance to really investigate this more analytical and technical side of myself. And I loved it. It was life-changing, and now I am gonna cry because I left this nonprofit not knowing what was gonna happen next. Like, I knew that I wanted to find some way to marry these 2 completely different sides of myself that I felt like will never come together, right? I really didn't know what was gonna happen and took that leap, and that could have turned out in some pretty perilous ways. And I think the reason it didn't is because of having the opportunity to explore a different side of myself in a safe space. I think a lot of people don't take chances in their life because they don't have that kind of space to explore and to feel like they've got a community that if you fall and skin your knees is gonna tell you keep running, keep going, and come back next week. This experience has taught me that I am capable of a lot more than I give myself credit for. I don't have to have it all figured out to still be confident that I am capable and that I can do it, and I have something of value to offer to the team that I'm working with. I'm Lori Bainter.
I'm Satin Bostic.
My name is Jay Lingelbach.
Erica Kaiser.
Crystal Holt.
Mia Frank.
Jillian Embry.
Garrett Haas.
Al Lopez.
Before I worked as a college recruiter.
I used to sell insurance.
A graphic designer.
Call center worker.
Temp service.
Nonprofit administrator.
And now after LaunchCode,
I'm a technical product owner apprentice.
A DBA and QA developer.
A web developer.
Associate consultant software engineer. Now I am a user experience researcher.
Thanks to LaunchCode.